So formidable mid-range smartphones like the Nothing Phone 3a Pro and the Google Pixel 9a might be lingering just on the horizon, but Samsung has beat them to it by spaffing out its fresh new Galaxy A56, the sequel to last year's pretty damn decent Galaxy A55. You got some sleek new design, upgraded specs, a faster charging battery, and a whole bunch of AI shindiggery, naturally. Now, it's normally £439 for the Galaxy A55, although at the time I've shot this video, Samsung has slashed that down to £364 in a bid to shift all blowers before the Galaxy A56 hit shelves. Meanwhile, sadly, the price has been bumped right up for the Galaxy A56, which will set you back £499, or in real world terms, 100 Greggs meal deals, or approximately 250 big bottles of Blue Wicked. You can pre-order yourself a Galaxy A56 from March the 2nd and it'll go on sale from March the 19th here in Byyyyeeeee. But is it worth that cash, or should you just grab yourself one of last year's blowers? Well, I took my A55 along to Samsung's Galaxy A56 pre-briefing to get a side-by-side comparison type situation on the go. Here's my early impressions, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now stick them side by side and they do look rather similar, but the new Galaxy A56 is a mite slimmer at just 6.4mm, and those bezels have slimmed down a bit as well, so it's now a 6.7-inch display versus the old 6.6-incher. You have to squint kind of hard to really notice the difference in the bezels and the screen size. The dimensions pretty much the same, and once again you've got a gorgeous sleek metal frame which certainly adds a premium vibe to the Galaxy A56. And meanwhile, the front end and the back end have been upgraded from Gorilla Glass Victus to Victus Plus. Although the A56's arse end is just as shiny as the A55's, and just as liable to pick up grubby, nasty, fingerprinty stuff. And Samsung has changed up the design of the cameras to a linear camera layout now on the Galaxy A56, rather than having separate camera islands. It certainly helps to differentiate the Galaxy A56 from the rest of Samsung's smartphone lineup, which on the flip side means you can't also blag like you're Billy Big Buckets of cash and you've spunked out loads on the S25, because it's pretty obvious you haven't. And of course, the Galaxy A55 came in a choice of 4 colours: awesome ice blue, navy, lilac or lemon. And with the Galaxy A56, it's another choice of 4 colours, all of them also apparently awesome. This time graphite, light grey, pink and olive. I do think the olive is rather fetching. Whether it's awesome is an entirely different debate, one which I'm pretty sure will be going on in the comments section right now as I speak. And good news if you like to go places which are rather moist, because the A56, like the A55 before it, is once again IP67 water and dust resistant. Now, Galaxy A55 owners may still be waiting for OneUI 7 and a bit of Android 15, but they come slapped on the Galaxy A56 out of the box. Complete with a guarantee from Samsung of 6 full years of OS updates and 6 years of security patching, which is an upgrade over the previous model, the A55, which came with 4 years of guaranteed OS updates and 5 years of security patching. And you can actually knock a year off of both of those numbers now, because obviously the A55 is a year old. And of course, you've got a whole bunch of AI shenanigans hoid onto the Galaxy A56. You've got the regular stuff, including circle to search, bit of object eraser action for the camera. But you'll also find a few bits chucked on here that aren't on the A55, at least not just yet, including a bit of auto trim, as well as best face action. Although Samsung wasn't able to confirm exactly which AI features would be trickling down to the A55 in future updates. And good news if you like to roam about the place, because you've once again got eSIM support on the A56, just like the old A55. As for the display tech, well, a slight upgrade for the A56. It's once again an AMOLED panel, nice and poppy and punchy with sharp contrast, full HDR support, and full HD plus resolution to keep things reasonably crispy. The size has grown ever so slightly from 6.6 inches to 6.7 inches. It is negligible. You've got a slightly brighter display now as well at 1200 nits on the high brightness mode versus roughly 1000. I've got to say the difference in the studio where I was shooting was pretty much negligible. Refresh rate maxes out at 120Hz. Again, you got tools like the Vision Booster chucked on there. And once again, a reasonably meaty pair of stereo speakers, certainly perfectly respectable for a mid-range mobile. However, when it comes to the storage, whether you've got a choice of 128 or 256 gigs of the stuff here on the old A55, whereas on the A56, it's 256 gigs as standard. And if you want to double up the storage here on the A55 to 256 gigs to match the A56, well, that'll cost you an extra 50 quid, squeezing that price gap quite considerably. But that said, both of these Sammy blowers come with a bit of micro SD memory card support if you want to boost the storage yourself. Now, the old Samsung Galaxy A55 came with Sammy's own Exynos 1480 chipset running the show with 8 gigs of RAM. This phone was generally a smooth sailer, although the A55 did occasionally struggle on higher graphics settings with the likes of Genshin Impact and other full-on Android games, occasionally throwing a bit of a wobbler, some serious judders in that frame rate. Now, for the Galaxy A56, Samsung has stuck with its Exynos chipset, but it's upgraded the tech now to the fresh new 4nm 1580, once again backed by 8 gigs of RAM. And Samsung naturally reckons that this offers a speed boost over the previous generation, and so it seems more than capable when it comes to more basic fare like Call of Duty, helped along by the fact that the Galaxy A56 sports a 15% larger vapor chamber. Of course, whether the Galaxy A56 can handle a bit of Wuthering Waves and Genshin action remains to be seen. Stay tuned for my full in-depth review where I'll be testing the ruddy heck out of it. And no change for the battery tech, at least in terms of the capacity, because it's once again a 5000 mAh cell stuffed inside of the Galaxy A56. Should happily keep you going all day long, touch wood. Of course, when it came to recharging that battery, the old Galaxy A55 was slower than a one-legged sloth, where that one leg has been nailed to a tree. Now, thankfully, Samsung seems to have taken this feedback on board and it's boosted the charging speeds from 25 watts to 45 watts, so it should now take approximately 68 minutes to fully recharge the Galaxy A56 from 0 to 100%. As for the camera hardware, well, it appears to be the same sensors and everything chucked into the A56 versus the A55. So that's a 50 meg primary shooter with optical image stabilization, backed by a 12 meg ultra-wide angle shooter and a 5 meg macro snapper for some reason. In my time with the A55 and the A56, I couldn't notice much difference between the two. My side-by-side comparisons, besides the obvious UI improvements in the A56. The settings are now positioned down at the bottom, so easier to access. And of course, you've got some extra bonus features in there, like Create a Filter, which will hopefully be coming to the A55 in an update anyway. Apparently, the ISP has been upgraded for the A56. Certainly, it wasn't evident in the simple shots that I took right there in the demo room. But stay tuned for an in-depth, proper A56 camera review to see how good it really is. And no difference on the video front, you can shoot 4K resolution footage at 30 frames per second on this pair. And meanwhile, on paper, the Galaxy A56 seems to downgrade the A55's 32 meg selfie shooter to a 12 meg effort. But I honestly couldn't notice much difference at all in my sweaty, horrible, dead behind the eyes selfies that I snapped in that demo room. Apparently the A56's selfie shooter is better in low light situations. It's got a fresh new low noise mode, so we'll see how that fares when I hit the club, as I'm wont to do pretty much every night, to be honest. I'm bopping along to a bit of Carly Rae Jepsen and other artists, what the kids are into these days. But anyway, there you go. That's enough of me banging on. That's roughly how the A55 kind of stacks up against the Galaxy A56. As I say, hoping to get my mitts on a proper review unit of the Galaxy A56 imminently. Give it a proper, thoroughly bloody good going over. But so far, certainly seems like a highly respectable mid-range mobile and a proper strong rival to the likes of the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, the Pixel 9a and other alternative options which are about to launch imminently as well. But what do you reckon? Would you like to have the fresh new Galaxy A56 stashed in your pants, or would you rather save a bit of scratch and grab the A55 instead? Great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech and a shitload of mid-rangers. God damn, there's a lot of them coming up. And have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!